Tom Brady got away with it, and he lost.
No, he didn't. He didn't get away with it.
Phone.
He got suspended from the NFL, man. Tom Brady got
long?
suspended 4 games the next season.
Okay. Did they win the next year?
No. Randy Moss is like LeBron. Now, because Moss is who he is, because Calvin Johnson are who they are. Now, these dudes are freaks. You know, Megatron, Moss, the real freak daddy, you get those nicknames for a reason. He had to say something. He's trying to defend. I don't know if it's a South Florida thing. He's trying to defend Chad. But let Chad fight his own battles, man.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 57, Fully Loaded. Chris Carter, Shawn Mike. How you doing, dude?
Good, man. What's happening?
Not much, man. How about you?
Good holiday weekend. Yes.
Did you go golfing?
Yeah, we did play.
How'd you play?
I played pretty good.
How good are you, by the way? I never asked you.
I'm a 7 handicap, 7.2 the USGA would say. You know.
How what percentage of people, I'm not saying you do because I bet you don't, but what percentage of guys lie about their handicap?
Well, at least 50%.
At least 50%.
Yeah.
We went a couple weeks ago, and I'm not a 7. That 7 means you can play. You're good.
I can play.
You're a 7. You can play. You know. And this guy that he will remain nameless. We don't want to embarrass him. But I said, "How are you?" He said, "I'm a 6 or a 7." Andrew, you know what I'm talking about? Did you go and we saw my man swinging it? And we got done. I said, "I think you are like a 37." Maybe 20. He's a legitimate 30. Legit
right.
30. Legit. Like, I'm really good at math. Legit 30. But you almost like, if you're going to lie about your handicap, what are you going to do when you play against people?
Well, I don't know what advantage he would have to saying he's a lot lower handicap.
I'd want to be higher. Like, if me and you playing, like, I'm a good best ball guy. I hit a long way. But I wasn't going to lie to you. I'll tell you my handicap. I want the truth.
Right.
Give me my strokes.
Absolutely.
Give me my strokes.
You deserve them.
Exactly. I earned them. By not being a 7.
Yeah, you're going to pay for them.
Literally. So, all right. So the Miami Dolphins traded. First of all, how do you think the Dolphins are going to be this year? I'm trying to get a little excited about football season in Miami since they're 40 minutes from my house.
I think they'll be a 10-7 football team.
You do?
They're above average, yes. They'll win 10 games.
Okay. So they traded Ramsey, Juno Smith of the Steelers, and got Minka Fitzpatrick, and they added Waller, the kid who unretired. Do you think? How do you think he's going to be?
I think Waller's very intriguing. I think that he's gone through a lot on and off the field. He's a guy in recovery for a long time. He's been really vocal, vocal about that. But then he just talked about lack of identity. Too much of a burden being placed on football for him, so he had to step away from the game. Get his priorities, get his mentals in order. Went through a divorce, a very public divorce there with the WNBA star. I do think that he can make a great contribution. The way they play offense with all the speed they have on the outside, like he can do something in the middle of the field. I hope he's very, very healthy. I hope he's very, very successful in the comeback, but I do believe that it's an intriguing part of the trade.
And how about Ramsey leaving and Fitzpatrick coming in?
Well, I didn't think they wanted to invest in Jalen Ramsey long term, and given some of the other money and stuff that they're spending, Fitzpatrick, I get a little concerned with him in coverage. He starts giving up a lot more big plays than he gave up early in his career. Fantastic player, great in the locker room, great character guy, but I do get concerned about some big plays that he's given up the last couple of years in Pittsburgh.
And if Tua does, and I hope he has the healthiest year and has a great year, but if he can't play that quarterback spot or doesn't make it, who's the backup they got?
Well, they haven't had a good backup in a long time, so they've really suffered. So I do think that, they're going to try to get that fixed, but the style for which they play, the anticipation, it's hard to have a backup that has that skill set. So if Tua gets dinged, which we know is a probability in his career, then the drop-off is significant. But can the Dolphins run the ball to take some of that pressure off of, and their defense be a little bit better, take some of that pressure off their passing game?
10-7 would be nice. That would be
great.
That would be great. All right, so the Sports Center put this out. I wanted to see what your thoughts on it. 2024 Team USA versus 92 Team USA. Who wins in a Game 7 series? I'm going to give you the players even though you might already have an opinion. So you got Steph, Booker, LeBron, Durant, and Embiid against Magic, Jordan, Bird, Pippen, and Barkley?
I'm going with the 92 team.
Okay.
Also had David Robinson.
Yeah.
Which
said these five, I would assume they were starters. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the reason why is because I think that Steph can be negated with his shooting, especially international rules. They're playing more physical, right? That's the rules we're playing. Yeah. But I think it's a very, very close matchup. I do think that, to me, the most intriguing matchup would probably be someone like Scottie Pippen versus Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Like, that would be an amazing matchup.
Be amazing to watch.
And at that stage, Magic and Bird, they were older. But from a defensive standpoint, like, I don't see anyone guarding Magic, slowing him down. Mm-hmm. And with MJ as his sidekick, that's, I don't know. Who
not a bad sidekick.
Who on
can
the
cover,
current,
cover
who
Jordan?
on the, and who's going to say, let me guard him?
Nobody. Nobody's going to say,
no, somebody's going to.
Somebody. You think somebody's going to be stuck guarding
Let's
them?
go on the roster and let's go down and be
So who's going to, is it going to be, it ain't going to be Steph.
No.
Would it be LeBron? Would it be KD?
No.
Would Booker say I got him?
No.
Embiid ain't going out there.
No.
So who got him?
That's
the point. And MJ would say what? Who would MJ grab? I got LeBron. That'd be
between him and Pippen, between him and Durant. Yes,
that'd be something to watch. Him covering LeBron.
Yeah, but I don't think Booker would want Michael Jordan guarding.
No, I don't think anybody want Michael Jordan guarding.
Yeah.
No, I think that'd be tough for Booker. So that's the 92 team. You think they make it 7 games? They make it 6. It's a 7.
I'm going 7 games.
You think they
Let's
make it
go 7 games? Yeah.
Okay. Jordan be the MVP?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
man.
just asking. Who you think would play the best against them guys from the 2024 team? Because they'd be physical, it'd be different. Who would have the most success out of Steph?
I still think LeBron.
LeBron would. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they
even
still
with Pippen or MJ covering them.
LeBron and KD, man. LeBron and KD are going to score in any era. They're going to get some buckets.
Yeah.
LeBron is too big, too physical, shoots the ball too well, plays the game too well not to be effective.
Dude, I love what did you? So is LeBron is playing with the Lakers this year, right?
Yes.
Why is anybody talking about anything other than that? Because they're bored.
Yes, this is the dead period. This is we got to concentrate on international soccer and
this was actually good. He said
baseball.
They had a picture of him in Cleveland. He said, "In every summer since it was built, I live here still, and I train every summer." He said, not God. He said, goddamn, y'all bored, man. Go get a plate of food somewhere and enjoy the 4th of July. That actually was really good.
Right, and I don't think LeBron wants to be an add-on to a championship, even though it makes sense.
You don't think so?
No.
Not his deal?
No. Cleveland's got a great squad. Could they use someone like LeBron as a club? Absolutely. We could see when Garland, the point guard, was hurt, their overall outside shooting really suffered, and that's why they got ousted in the first round. But adding someone like LeBron, yeah, that's a great time to talk about it. But no, that's not going to happen.
Correct. He ain't going nowhere.
No.
And there's all this talk about the Lakers moving forward, and Doncic and the team and what's going to happen. How do you think they're going to be this year?
I still think they're about the way they were last year. They got some tough matchups.
Yeah.
They did get a center. So that's encouraging, but they still need more shooting. And, Luka is still going to have to be fit and play some defense. He can't be just fit. He got to be willing to try to play some defense. So
he did lose some weight.
They're still
deep. He's going to move his feet.
Houston, OKC, Denver. Those are the teams right off the bat. Golden State that are better than the Lakers.
And this will be LeBron's last year.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. End of an amazing era. All right, staying with the team competitions. Team War Tide and Team Roll Eagle. Did you see this? They split Alabama Auburn guys up.
No.
Okay, so here's your first team: Cam Newton, Derrick Henry, Cadillac Williams, Amari Cooper, and Ryan Williams. Okay? Against Jalen Hurts, Bo Jackson, Mark Ingram, Julio Jones, and Darius Slayton.
Man, I got to go with the Bo Jackson team.
How do you not go with the Bo Jackson team? It's like going with an MJ team.
I mean,
Who's going to stop Bo Jackson?
In college, no one.
Nobody.
The sidelines. That's the only thing going to stop him. Yeah, especially with Alabama's offensive line. You know, they've been great on offensive line for a long time. Bo Jackson running behind them. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, all those guys won those Heisman trophies there in Alabama. Nick Saban, they had some beef up on their front.
Dude, when is the last time Auburn won a national championship?
Cam Newton.
And what year was that? How many? They won the one with Cam Newton, but what else? Drew, how many national championships Auburn won?
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. They get a lot of talent.
Yeah, I mean, not national championship type talent. They got a lot of talent. But, you know, their program is not a top 10 program in the country. And they're not even a top 5 team in the SEC.
Which is amazing.
I mean, look, Texas.
Damn. Yeah. They haven't had enough talent to win more than 2?
Alabama.
They still got Hugh Freeze there? He should have stayed at Liberty. He should have stayed at Liberty, bro. And I promise you life was much more enjoyable there, if I had to guess. But you're right. All them teams, they still aren't even top 5. But this whole Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah, no, that's still real. I mean, that's still real. But Alabama has dominated that, and on the national scene since 2010 when Cam was there, Auburn hasn't been there.
Crazy, dude. Yeah, it's hard to bet against Bo Jackson. God, unbelievable, dude. You ever see a better athlete than Bo Jackson? Athlete.
Deion
and Bo. Only 2 in that.
Yeah, and the reason why I say Deion too is because Deion can play basketball.
Oh, he can?
Yes.
Okay.
Like he can 2-hand dunk a basketball.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, before.
Correct. Yeah, he ain't doing it now, but yeah, we got you.
But very explosive. You saw what he could do at baseball. And, you know, Bo is a freakish athlete, definitely one of the top 5 athletes of all time. Yeah. But Deion, you know, to me, athleticism is being able to do different things.
Correct. Can Bo play basketball?
I don't think so. No. I think he's a little too tightly wound for that.
Who else you got? Top 5 athletes. You got Bo Jackson, Deion. Who else up in that group? Athletes.
I would have to say Mike Tyson.
Really?
Oh, my God. The training?
Mike Tyson.
All-time athlete.
Yeah, all-time athlete. Best athletes.
Best trained athlete. I mean.
Okay.
Jordan.
Can Mike play any sports?
6'6"? No, but he's just so mean.
Hey, if you were on the basketball court and he wanted the ball, you give him the ball.
Yes.
Yo, he'd walk out in the street, he'd give him the ball.
Yeah, right. LeBron
Jordan.
at 6'9", Mike at 6'6", freakish athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron is definitely top 5. I would say Jordan in the top 10 athletes.
Jordan played some baseball, dude, and he wasn't so bad like Keith.
Oh, no, absolutely.
He's still playing like he hadn't played in a minute.
I mean, you can play one sport so well and do it athletically that people grace that.
You just know. Yeah.
I mean, like he played above the rim. I mean, you saw the way he handled the basketball, the size of his hands, played defense, his agility. They say he used to win every sprint. I wonder what Michael Jordan's 40 time would have been.
Huh. Nobody knows what it is?
No. But if you do know, like, send it to me. Maybe he ran a 40 at baseball or something.
He would have run the 60 in baseball. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. LeBron would be interesting, too. But I think Jordan and Kobe and them are a little bit quicker. I'd like to see what they run a 40-yard dash.
Fast. I'm saying you were trying to say fast. Who do you think is the fastest in the NBA today? 40, even though they don't do it. If you had to bet on a dude, put them all in there, 40-yard time.
Man, that's hard to say.
Anthony Edwards fast?
I think he played some high school football too,
Okay.
and explosive. But maybe one of the Thompson twins. I mean, they're
Really?
freakish athletes. But I'm sure there's someone out there that's got a little running back or something in them, a little receiver, something, and they're like, "Hey, man, you missed me." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
My bad.
Some freak athletes
we
don't
didn't
even
know.
I
All
mean,
right.
my goodness.
All right. So Travis Kelce issued an official warning to Travis Hunter. Warning that he pointed something out. He said that you understand the everything goes with Hunter, playing both ways, yada yada yada. He said, basically, on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, teams are just going to go after him all day long. That's what they're going to do. Dude, if he plays corner, they're just going to run deep balls at him all day. The wide receivers just take off on him all day, just trying to get him tired. Why wouldn't you just attack him that way? Do you think guys are just going to get out and run up and down the field and run these patterns and try to wear him out?
I mean, I do think there is a strategy that the NFL will utilize that college was not able to utilize. And I do think strategically attacking him, you do have to attack him in the deep quadrant of the field because it's going to help the overall team. Like if there was, say for instance, if there was a defensive tackle that was also playing offensive line, like I would run a lot of trap blocks. I would do a lot of things to get his eyes thinking, physically hitting him from the side. Like, yes, you have to be able to try to wear him down. Now, I don't think it's going to be like Little League where they just going to be chucking the ball up. You know,
He run these fly patterns up and down the field all day long,
right,
throwing the ball up.
You know, chuck it up Travis's way.
Travis
Let's get
could
him.
also catch it and run it back the other way. We don't really want the ball in his hands either if you're on the offense.
Also, you can play off coverage. You don't have to play taxing man-to-man. You can also play off and play man-to-man. So it's less taxing on your body.
Correct.
And if you're eyeing the receiver, there's some keys in there that give up if it's a pass or is it a run that you can chill. You know, he's not going to be running to the ball.
He ain't stupid. He can chase you down the field when he knows you're running the ball.
Right. So I think there is a definite concentration that you have to think about if he's playing both ways. How can we as an offense help the other side of the ball by putting some extra RPMs or extra taxing on his wind and cardio, especially early in the game?
Is there any chance he plays like he did in Colorado? He's just on the field all day long in the NFL. Outside of special teams, he's out there offense and defense side of when they need to take him out.
No, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening because the skill level of the players, I think, is too good. The guys he got to guard in the NFL are too hard to guard, and what they're expecting out of him from an offensive standpoint, like you got to be running crispy routes, and if you're a decoy, you got to be threatening the defense down the field. And your body needs time to recover. Now, I do think that he's a freak, and one of the things I don't think has been covered enough was, you know, he did this at altitude at Colorado.
Yeah.
Now in Jacksonville, or now, you know, based in Denver, everyone else is really at sea level. So the ability to be able to create oxygen, breathe, it should be a lot easier. So I don't know why people aren't talking about that.
I didn't even hear anybody saying that about that.
And that,
which is
to
actually
me,
really freaking impressive. Yeah.
because that's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, people with sickle cell, Ryan Clark, one time he went to Denver, he couldn't play because the danger to his extreme, to inside,
Oxygen, O2,
yeah, all those things, you know, affected his ability to be able to do his job. And now he did this playing both ways. That to me is the most interesting thing about him going to Jacksonville, seeing how that translate over to the deep south, to the heat, the humidity. Can he do that, especially early in the season before things cool off?
All right, so Asante Samuel must have a podcast. It was on a podcast, and he was talking about you, my man, over here. He said he was talking about Chad Johnson, and he said Chris Carr was asked about your thoughts and claimed that, you know, Chad was talking about playing against Travis Hunter today at his age and running routes. And Asante said, I think Chris Carter was great during his time. He was a heck of a route runner, and he had some of the best hands in football. But he is really beside himself coming for Chad Johnson. Samuel said in his podcast, he was nothing more than a possession receiver, a receiver that catches the ball and is immediately tackled. Cris Carter is one of the most overrated wide receivers ever come in the NFL or in the Hall of Fame. Carter is widely regarded as one of the greatest wide receivers ever played football, so the article goes on to say, with 1,100 receptions, 13,899 receiving yards, ranks 13th, 130 career touchdowns, is 4th, was inducted in the NFL Hall of Fame in 2013, so calling him overrated seems really extreme. As a cornerback, what do I have to worry about covering a guy like Cris Carter? He's going to run a nice, crispy route and get tackled immediately. Samuel continued, I am not worried about him running past me, so what fear does he put in any cornerback on defense? What would you say to Asante Samuel?
Well, number one, you got to point out the things that were correct. Yes, I was a possession receiver. Absolutely. But the best possession receiver in the history of the game. Mm-hmm. That's what the numbers say. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing wrong. I don't take it as derogatory when people say, "Oh, you're a possession receiver." That's fine.
Correct.
But all right, who did it better? Mm-hmm. And there's so many fast guys that can't score the football. So to me, what are you worried about? Well, you're worried about me scoring.
130 times, yeah.
High school, I scored a lot of touchdowns. College, scored a lot of touchdowns. They're just now breaking my touchdown records from college. All right?
Because they got some real dudes, too.
And it's obviously after 23 years away from the NFL, I'm still 4th in touchdowns. Mm-hmm. The difference between me and the other possession receiver is they didn't score a lot of touchdowns. Right. So there's a lot of guys that catch balls, not 1,000 balls. Mm-hmm. For me, Chad Johnson scored double-digit touchdowns one time. Mm-hmm. In his 11 years, he scored double-digit touchdowns. I think I scored six times. Mm-hmm. So scoring the football is the number one play as a receiver.
Correct.
All right? No, I was not a burner. I ran 4.6, 4.65, but can do it every single day, can do it for 4 quarters, and consistent at it. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And didn't get tackled on the spot every time 130 times. You were in the end zone.
Well, I mean.
Scored a lot of touchdowns.
It is what it is, man. You can't dispute that.
No problem with what he said. Overrated, you got a problem with because
he had to say that.
He had to say something.
He had to say something. He's trying to defend. I don't know if it's a South Florida thing. He's trying to defend Chad, but let Chad fight his own battles, man.
Right. He don't need your help.
I mean, he obviously needs my help because they are what they are. I didn't say Chad was overrated. I said Chad wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Correct. What if Asante Samuel was covering you?
I don't get into that.
You don't get any of that.
What difference does it make?
It don't matter.
Okay. These are the guys that I played against.
Okay.
Dion.
Yeah.
Darrell Green. Aeneas Williams.
Yeah.
Rondé Barber. John Lynch. Aeneas Williams. Charles Woodson. Leroy Butler. Mm-hmm. That's 8 or 9 guys in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
So I don't even put myself against those guys because we're all on the same team. All these guys getting into NBA and NFL, oh, man, if I was doing this, you sound stupid. I sound stupid trying to challenge Travis Hunter. Oh, if I was going one-on-one, I had my day.
Correct.
That conversation's going on. Mm-hmm. But that's what, a lot of these guys are doing now. But no. I don't have to. I wouldn't even comment on it. Don't even make sense to.
And then we're talking about
playing against a guy now, trying to put yourself. No.
Well, Chad was saying if
that'd be like Kyrie Irving.
Chad was saying if I did it now, he wouldn't even say it back in the day. Chad's
absolutely.
I can't get off my couch.
But that's what he's doing now.
Run 10 routes against you.
Well, you only scored 10 touchdowns once in your prime. So how would you be better now?
And you don't want to be doing that today.
And don't forget, they still got a playbook. Don't forget that last year in New England when you couldn't learn that playbook down there, okay? They still got a playbook, man, okay?
So that's important, too. They haven't changed. Probably more complicated than it was. All right. Jets, Andre Cisco, excited for Justin Fields to prove those who are doubting him. So he basically has some familiarity with Justin Fields. He's a member of the same high school graduating class of 21, but he's gotten to know him at a different level, preparing for the season. Getting to know him up close as a teammate has been really, really special. I'm glad I get this opportunity to get behind him and support him as he takes on that role. We already know what quarterback means in the NFL. I'm excited for him to prove all these doubters wrong, and people are supporting him because I think he's going to have a huge year. How do you think Justin Fields is going to do with the Jets this year?
I thought he was ready for a breakout year last year with the Steelers, but Russell Wilson, once he came back from the injury, took over. But Justin Fields is off to a great start. There are a lot of players that need to be in the right system and then work on their fundamentals enough that eventually, when you got the right chance and people believing in them, you know, Baker Mayfield, my man, the quarterback for Seattle. Seattle got traded. Pete Carroll traded for him. Eugene, playing for the Raiders now. So now, if you get guys that, I see him, I saw him earlier in his career, I think that if he gets a little bit crispier, if he gets a little more accurate, a little more pocket awareness, I think that's where Justin Fields is. They could be one of the surprise teams in the NFL.
And you think he could surprise everybody?
Yes,
Like,
absolutely. Receiving core is really good. They can run the football. Yes, he can have a great year. People would be shocked. Yes, but he could resurrect his career just like Baker Mayfield has done in Tampa Bay.
And I'm sure they're pretty excited to be rolling with him, not what they had with Rodgers last year and the whole
deal. Totally different.
A fresh start.
It is.
Fresh start. Everybody ready to go.
Yes.
All right. So the Kevin Durant trade made to Houston broke a record. It's the first 7-team trade in the NBA. And we went over it last time we were talking about how crazy this thing is. And then I'm reading about Damian Lillard and the Bucks. So the Bucks are going to keep him on. He'll be on that. Every year you'll see Damian Lillard, kind of like you see A-Rod with the Yankees back in the day. Like, they're going to pay him that much money. It stays. And they got the kid from the Pacers, right?
Yes.
Miles Turner.
Yes.
Why? What help me understand
Well, because they're going to get like some salary cap exemption stuff because of the buyout. They bought him out. So which in turn, they couldn't have traded for Miles without that. Then which in turn, then they couldn't be active as far as keeping Giannis. Because Giannis doesn't want to play center. So be able to trade for a center who's established himself in the East as one of the best centers there, then they can also make an appeal to keep Giannis in Milwaukee, because that is what this is all about.
Correct.
Not only Dame's got to get paid out, because that's really the only solution for the contract that they signed him to with that torn Achilles at this stage at 36. That's going to be a tough one. But the most important thing is Dame, that had already established itself. But if you lose Giannis, because now for the first time in his career, he's entertaining other offers of leaving Milwaukee. Him and his team have publicly said that. So you got to make some moves to be able to keep Giannis in Milwaukee. That's the most important thing.
So you think it's a good move for Milwaukee?
Well, it's the making the best of a bad move, because once Dame tears his Achilles, like, you're stuck with that. You got to eat that contract. Mm-hmm. And so now trying to avoid that second apron in the NBA is what all the owners are doing. I mean, the NBA is totally changing. All the old owners, too, are getting out. They're getting their money and getting out, because now it's become so expensive. I can sell the team, take all that profit, do something, live my life, and not have to worry about this second apron. And you can't have 3 stars on the team.
Correct.
So you have to be able to manage that, and that's why you see the NBA model changing. That's why you see so many teams right now being liquidated and sold.
And these guaranteed deals, like, I mean, you talking about these guys, what percentage are those contracts in the NBA? They're guaranteed money?
Yeah, I would say that 70 to 80% of the contracts are guaranteed.
What about in the NFL?
I would say around 40 to 50% of the money is guaranteed. There's more players.
Correct. But about half the money is guaranteed.
Yes.
Guys are signing. So it's getting better.
Oh, it's so much better.
Guys.
No, it's amazing.
What percentage when you were playing was guaranteed money?
Probably 10%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So hurt, problem, you were done.
Yeah, hurt, you got a problem.
Hurt, you got a problem.
Yeah.
So you were as good as how you were feeling, but you go out there and tear something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That contract can just be
paper.
Appointed at will. Contracted at will.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad it's getting better, because that is not a longevity deal. All right. Cuttino Mobley was talking about LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe. and he was asked to rank the players. He was on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said, I love Kobe so much, you can't tell me nothing. Growing up, Mike was my GOAT, right? Mike was the guy. But you ever watch Weird Science? And I know this is a quick hitter, but you ever watch Weird Science and you got to build someone, you build LeBron. You don't build Kobe or Mike, you build LeBron, and that's what I think. There's LeBron, there's Kobe, then there's Mike. Man, he got him like third. Any thoughts on building the perfect player from a LeBron standpoint, Kobe? Because you've been pretty clear, like you believe Jordan's GOAT.
I mean, LeBron, though, is, I mean, almost perfect as an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he has that burning desire in his head and his heart to be elite. You know, so typically, in those three people, they all have that combination. But just, I mean, he just went on specs, though.
Correct.
Like, because, you know, what does LeBron do better than Michael Jordan?
Nothing.
I would say pass the ball. Because
Michael chose not to pass.
I'm just saying, but we got to give him something.
Okay, but he chose, yeah. Michael chose to shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, facilitator and with the ball
Yes.
in his hands and his assist, yeah.
You know, so all that's true. It's like, but it still doesn't make him a better basketball player. Mm-hmm. Is he a better overall athlete? I mean, LeBron is pretty much perfect as an athlete, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, geez. You know, so Kobe and Mike, I think that LeBron also desire determination, but Kobe and Mike are more self-made. There's a lot of dudes that look like them that can't play like them. Because, okay.
And they ain't many dudes that look like LeBron.
There ain't not many, no. There's one and only. He's one-on-one.
Well, it's like I think I was reading the other day, it was, you know, when you look at Jerry Rice, I think it was Moss. Did Moss say the other day he's the best wide receiver ever? Is that what? Yeah, they have the best wide receiver ever, and you got Jerry Rice, and you run the numbers. But you look at, like, the determination that Michael Jordan had, or the competitiveness, or the savage in him, whatever he had in him, and then you look at, I mean, are there a lot, if you look at Randy Moss or Jerry Rice, athletically, right? But the numbers, I mean, Jerry Rice is the best wide
Randy
receiver.
Randy Moss is like LeBron.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, if I was going
if you're the Weird Science analogy, you're building a dude.
Yes, now because Moss is who he is, because Calvin Johnson are who they are, I would typically make the science a little bit. I'd make the receiver smaller because he's more nimble and everything. Now these dudes are freaks, like they, you know, Megatron. You get a nickname like Megatron for a reason, and Moss, the real freak daddy.
They still talking about getting Moss. Yeah.
You get those nicknames for a reason, but typically what it's shown is that I would make the receiver a little bit shorter, probably 6'2" to 6'4", you know, because that's a Jeremiah Smith. Julio Jones. A little bit smaller, bigger than Moss, but not as big as Megatron. That would be the prototype. That would be, I'm in the lab. Okay, now I'm done.
Do you think that Randy Moss really believes he's the best wide receiver of all time when he says that?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Jerry Rice, you do?
Yes.
No matter what the numbers say, no matter what Rice has accomplished, it don't matter.
I think that Moss is saying if I was in that same situation that I would be able to duplicate that.
Would he have been able to duplicate it?
Moss is ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Like, Moss is the most talented receiver that I have seen worked out with in the last 50 years. And Jerry Rice would say that too.
Yeah.
But Jerry Rice is like Kobe and Mike, where he made himself into that guy.
Right. Which is a lot of work.
Oh, my God. The work is what separates him.
Right.
And you have to acknowledge the work that he did on himself. Like, yes, Jerry Rice ran a 4.55. But, man, when he got in the game, his route running, struggled catching the ball early in his career. No. Those are all just a blimp on the radar.
Well, and I think I was in a meeting one day. Steve Young was talking about, somebody asked him why, and he was talking about Rice, and he said it was early in his career, and they won the Super Bowl. And he said, I went in and cleaned my locker out. I was just trying to get my shit out. And then Jerry was outside, wanted me to throw him some balls. And before you know it, we're out there for God knows how long. And we just won the Super Bowl, bro. Like, what are you doing?
No. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You know?
And that is, Moss is more talented, but he did not work like Jerry Rice. Like, he does not have that gene in him. The Kobe, the MJ, it's not like that.
Yeah. Which is still part of building the product. The weird science deal. And you might not see it.
Yes.
But you building the product. You see it when the results.
Yeah, he has a governor on it. Like, I'm going to go when I want to go. Like, okay.
No governor on MJ's. No governor on Jerry or Kobe.
No.
No. Which is even more of a testament to, like you said, a lot of dudes look like them, but didn't achieve what they said. Okay. So, before we get to comments, Gilbert Arenas challenges WNBA players and their treatment of Caitlin Clark. Compares her to Jordan in the impact she's had in the league. He said, players rank Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard. 9th, players still in their feelings. They was picking her up full court in the All-Star game, and they going to say she 9. Y'all, why y'all knocking her on the floor and shit? Why y'all doing all this shit? Do they know, like, when she was gone and went back the year before she was in the league? The views stop, like, just enjoy it and go on with it. Obviously, he was talking about what's been happening to WNBA. Think about what it was getting paid before they said, Jordan, you're the guy. What do you think Magic and Bird and all them were making? Do you know how much Charles Barkley was making his rookie year for the TV deals that Jordan brung in? If you're making $40,000, every 5 months, and now you're making 80, then just play, do your job, vote for the person who got you there. And he continued to say, someone came in that everybody wants to watch, kids, everybody. Now we see your talent. So if you're sitting there beating it up and doing all this shit, it's all because, like, you hate it. Y'all need to pay attention. No one's caring about anybody else. You want to beat on it, they're going to hate it. You want to talk, they're going to hate on it. Like, there comes a point where there really has to kick in. You can keep fighting the fight, and you're going to be the odd person that looks bad. That's just how it is. What do you think about Caitlin, the players, the way they rank her, the way they feel about her?
Definitely the ranking's definitely not even justified.
Why are they doing that?
It's just hate.
But why?
Well, I mean, it's a kind of I think they're probably thinking it's a rite to passage. They think that they're making all these concessions for her. Because if you look at the history of the WNBA, and if you look at the great players that played in the WNBA, most people don't realize is just recently with Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson, these players aren't going to Asia, they aren't going to Russia to play basketball because they make more money over there. Sue Bird, all these other great players, man, they had to go to other countries so they could make money to be able to play. Now Caitlin Clark is coming in making all this money, and of course, there's some resentment. Like I listened to an interview with Candace Parker, her and Keyshawn, and she was like, I made my fortune in basketball abroad.
Yeah.
Like,
but they would play in the WNBA and play abroad.
Yes, like, but they made their real money
correct
abroad.
But they did that because they didn't get paid.
They didn't.
When off season, they went to work to get paid.
So now with Caitlin Clark, a lot of these other things, the other popularity, you're starting to know the players a little better and how they're branding the players. But, man, you need to go with the flow. Like, this is a real deal. Like, she is bringing more optics to the game, and she is logo. She got logo power. If you look at how can I be special in the women's game, set myself apart, when you can shoot that thing from deep the way she can, like Steph Curry, like no one we've ever seen, that's something special. And their ability to brand the league, to be able to market the league, to be able to market the women and everything will be at an all-time high. But there is jealousy. It's fairly obvious to see because there's no way there's 8 other guards better than her in the WNBA.
Correct. But everybody making more money today in WNBA?
Yes, they just signed a huge deal.
I know.
Yes.
So everybody's making more money.
Yes.
So if it's, and I think that's especially when you weren't making any money. Like you said, you couldn't make any money to buy the right clothes, have the right fit. Like, it was hard. You're making more money. And again, I don't know what Shiz doesn't say during the game, but make me more money. Like I remember I was talking to a guy one day, and he's a pro guy. If I said his name, some of you would know him, most of you wouldn't. But he was like, "Do you know how much money Tiger Woods made me in my life?" Like he actually was quantifying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, here's what the person's worth.
Even me, low man on the totem pole.
Like you don't know, I'm over here, but dude, it's a massive difference if I'm getting 70% more.
That's what
in
they
this
tell
spot.
you. High tide.
Raise
all boats.
shit,
Just stay in
bro.
the water, though.
Correct, bro.
Stay in the water.
But what are you screaming for? You're not drowning. You're doing better than you ever doing before.
Everybody's going up.
And if people like to watch, who cares?
Enjoy the rise.
Correct. I mean, he's right, because it's just like, dude, if you're making more money, when Jordan, somebody comes in and does that, dude, I'm happy. You come in, I make more money. I'm like, how often can you show up? I want to make more money. So I'm doing the same amount of work and making more money.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. So, all right. First of all, the Hard Knocks. That, by the way, thank you. Everybody loves it. Well, as far as I know, everybody loves it. You don't love it, let me know. But
right.
It's got a lot of views. It's cranking. We're going to drop episode 3 Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Right, Drew?
Yep.
All right, Thursday. We dropped it Friday this past week. It ain't going to happen again. It's only Thursday, 7 Eastern. Maybe that was a special 4th of July, Drew. So we're going to get the comments. Robo Mojo, 3514. Great idea. He's talking about the Hard Knocks. Great idea. Love this series. WJ 1213. The boy ain't too bad. The quarterback for FAU. They just got to do a better job on protecting. They really could.
Oh, yeah, the quarterback was nice.
No, they really could have beaten Michigan State. We should have beaten Michigan State.
Oh, man.
No doubt about it. But I don't bitch very often about calls and refs, but I think that was a record for targeting.
Oh, yeah, the personal foul. Oh, my gosh.
Personal fouls on Michigan State's part. Because they're like, dude, we gotta figure this out. All right, King C21. Hey, Chris, Shawn, I've seen every episode. Great show. What does it mean, Chris, when the CFL got Shedeur Sanders' rights? How often does this happen?
It happens all the time. It's called territorial rights. There's certain teams that they have certain college teams that are in their territorial, and they just draft them and have their rights to them to hold them just in case they decide to go north of the border to play football.
Got it, but that's already territory. They didn't have to bid for it, they didn't have to pay for it. They had rights built in.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain it's territorial rights, and I think that they claim them.
But we don't have to worry. Shedeur's not going to the CFL.
Oh, no.
We're gonna be good over
he's
here.
definitely going to be playing NFL.
All right. King Negus 77. Dang, CC. Oh, he didn't want you to invite. He said, don't sell out the mayonnaise. He called me a Cracker Jack. Motherfucker. Holy shit. I should bring him here right here.
Come on.
You should invite me and him to the barbecue at the same time.
Come on.
And I'll fucking take my fucking Cracker Jack mayonnaise ass to the fucking cookout.
Go ahead.
I will fucking lose my mind. You better fucking show up and be serious. So he don't want you to invite me to cookout if you invite me to cookout on the show.
Oh, Shawn's on the first list.
But I'm still going, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate you.
Uninvited, he's going.
I'm uninvited.
Because
if you're
he knows you're
up,
there.
I'm definitely fucking going. I promise you that.
Yeah. How you going to get in the cookout? He can't get in.
You might get in.
Like,
you might not get out.
You think I'm desperate for friends?
You might get in, but you might not get out. All right. Bryant Hunt, 269. Chris, I missed you, bro. You were my guy on Fox. Now you're my guy on YouTube.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Hannah Ball 090. Russ not on that corner is wild. That's actually funny. That's actually really good. All right. Slab 617. Chris Carter is the best sports commentator in our generation. He gives us barbershop talk. Always think of the ESPN Come On Man episode when he clowned Stevie Johnson's press conference.
Andrew, you should pull that up.
Pull it up, Andrew.
The Come On Man?
Come On Man one?
Okay. The way we set this one up was, now Stevie Johnson was a young player for Buffalo, and they were playing in Cincinnati. And so after the game, he came in. He had what you're not allowed to call it a wife beater anymore, but
that's what he had.
The tank top, T-shirt,
arms out.
He had eye black on his face, And he's doing this interview as like the star of the game. And I said, look, now that right there is he was not expecting to get interviewed. Like he was not expecting to have this breakout game. So we showed the highlights, and then when we came out of the highlights, I was in the studio with the wife beater on.
Yeah. No,
saying,
you weren't.
Come on, man. Come on. Like, you got to be prepared for success.
Yeah, that's bad. That's beautiful. I didn't even know that. You got on there, Drew?
Oh, it's
See that thing with the tank top?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't do the free ad for them, whoever that is.
Yeah, Stevie Johnson, receiver, Buffalo.
Yeah, and then my man Bama said, "Come on, man, it's iconic. We'll tend the rest
Grab
of the
that.
Oh, look at this. And there's
Oh, yeah, we had the B-roll. We had the guys coming to the game.
B-roll.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he is right there. CC in the tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, body's still together.
The body.
The body's still together, man.
Not everybody can pull it off at that time.
No.
Some of them dudes could not put a tank top
No,
on.
you got taco meat hanging everywhere. Everywhere.
That is beautiful. I like that a lot. Oh, man. All right. HRK Balls. This ain't LeBron's last year. He will be sure to let us know well in advance so we can have what LeBron thinks will be ample time for the league and fans to kiss his ass. So I guess he thinks he ain't going nowhere. Okay.
I mean, he's all NBA player.
Okay.
No need to rush it. Let's play one. But right at this stage, it's 1 year at a time.
Correct. All right. Maverick 214. The Lakers have no chance if they're going to pay a 40-year-old $52 million.
I mean, if he wanted to be able to add a player, these NBA guys are different. It's I'm going to take the money. It's my money. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to begrudge someone for doing that, but you can't add another player.
No, not when you take the money like that.
You know, Kyrie Irving took a little bit less. Brunson in New York took a little bit less.
Taking less.
Because it helps the roster.
Money, but he was taking his money.
LeBron is about that money.
He was taking his money.
Take my money.
All right. Brandon Surratt, 2275. Chris, excluding yourself, who are the Mount Rushmore receivers at OSU? Mine are Harrison Jr., Santonio Holmes, Terry Glenn, and David Boston.
Yes. Well, Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., because both of them would be the only consecutive All-Americans there. Jeremiah was first-team All-American as a freshman. That's never been done. Junior was first-team All-American as a sophomore and as a junior. So those two, David Boston was just a freak of an athlete. I mean, he was like Megatron. And then Terry Glenn, a blur. But most of the time they forget Joey Galloway. Oh my goodness. Joey Galloway used to bench close to 400 pounds and ran a 4.3 at Ohio State.
Joey Galloway could bench 400 pounds?
400 pounds. Joey Galloway was a freak.
How much Joey Galloway weighed when he was benching 400 pounds?
I think Joey was like 195, 200.
Damn.
No, Joey and can scoot now.
That is a
scoot. First round pick in Seattle. Yeah, that's. I know they got all these younger guys and everything, but those guys right there.
That'd be your crew right there.
Yeah, that's five pretty good ones.
That's a pretty good crew at Ohio State, which is why it's wide receiver you, I guess.
Yeah,
I got to figure it out.
Right now, we currently hold that title.
Okay. Edward Godwin, 98-28. Great show, guys. I hope these rookies listen to the nuggets you gave on how to conduct themselves after games. Appearance makes a huge difference. You're right. Look at that. That was even before we had the tank top on.
Oh, absolutely.
So good call. All right.
And now with social media and everything, TikTok and then all the footage they're going to show you, you market yourself.
Heavyweight Funk. I would like to hear Chris speak on the difficulties of having to perform at a high level when the weather conditions are horrible, especially when the temperature is extremely cold or when it's pouring down raining. I was in the Army, and Sam didn't give a shit about the weather when it was time to go. Playing well, crazy weather is what I admire the most about NFL players. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, no, the weather is definitely a difference maker physically and mentally. But to me, for selfish reasons, I used to always think, well, Michael Irvin's playing inside. You know, he's playing in Texas. Jerry Rice, he's playing in California. Like, they're going to have good stats no matter what.
Correct.
And to me, it's just another day going to work. Like, my boss expects me to do extraordinary things under adverse
What's the coldest
conditions.
game you ever played in?
I think in Buffalo, like, it was sub-zero, but the wind was blowing.
Like, when you walked out the locker room, you immediately realized it.
Well, no, you get the weather report leading up to it.
But
like,
I mean,
even
walking out.
Oh, I ain't going to get surprised because
Okay.
you already too late.
So you had everything.
Oh, I got 3 or 4 days of, yes.
Yeah, your gear.
Oh, man, I got Vaseline from my tips of my fingers, man, all the way down, Vaseline. And I'm going to wear some thermal long. I'm going to wear some tights.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going out there without no sleeves on.
Like some of them dudes who are out there with nothing.
That's stupid. I play with sleeves on indoors, let alone it be chilly.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm going out there to do a job. I'm not going out there to stay warm.
Got it.
And you got to be dressed appropriate to do the job. Dennis Green used to say that. If you're an offensive lineman, you know what you need to do. Like, if you're a special teams guy, you know what you need to do. If you're a skilled guy, you got less body fat. Hey, man, you guys get cold. But you need to be dressed to do your job. If you're chasing people, you need to be able to run after people. If you got to catch the ball, you need to dress appropriate for the job I need you to do today.
And it's got to be a different world when it's that cold with the ball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just got to be.
Man, that ball is so slick.
It's got to be.
Not unless you Brady at New England, take a little air out of it. That'll help the situation.
Deflated, it'll help a little bit, right?
Yeah, trust
So he's
me.
just smart. He was ahead of the game. He's like before NIL.
This is not before NIL.
They're never going to have let you deflate the ball.
No, this
Tom
will
Brady
always
did it.
be. This will always be illegal.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, Tom Brady got away with it, and he lost.
No, he didn't. He didn't get
lost
away
his
with
cell
it.
Phone. It didn't cost him any games.
He didn't get. He
Didn't
got
take away
suspended.
victories.
He
How
got
long
suspended
for
from
how-
the NFL,
for how
man.
long?
Tom Brady
For how
got
long?
suspended 4 games the next season.
Okay. Did they win the next year?
No.
Foxy Melissa. Even I know who Tyler Boyd is, Chris Carter. Upon further review, Cece said he slightly knows who TB is, LOL. A bunch of faces and the peace sign. And
Well, hey, sweetie, I'm glad you know him.
Yeah.
Now, you need to send out an invitation to everyone around the country so they know him.
Mr. Billings 57, bring it home, CC. All right. Connie Q 2811. Chris knows what it's like to have no shot, like his every year playing for Minnesota and Miami. LOL. Whoa.
I had a better shot than you sitting at home, in your mama's basement. Okay? Guess what? I had a better shot than you.
That is true. You had a better shot.
Slightly better shot than you.
Busy Rand. Chris Carter is a trusted source on this. I can't believe anything I heard on Shador. This was comments on Chris Carter saying that Pickett will be the Browns starting quarterback this year. Mr. Billings 6'7", always good discussion on what's going on. Puncho the King. Dylan Gabriel, stop the bullshit. All right, bro. Saren's World. Good insight, but honestly not best for you, co-host, to not know TJ Hushmandaz is. I said I didn't know how to say his name. I don't still know how to say it. I'm reading it. Hushmanzada?
Hushmanzada.
TJ. I know who TJ is.
I'm repping him well,
I
though.
don't know
I
how
told
to say
you who
it.
he is.
No, that's impressive.
You shouldn't know him.
But I don't know how. I know him. I just don't know how to say his name.
No.
And I wouldn't even bet. If I'm betting, I don't need to say the names. And if he's in fantasy football, I need to say the name. And I didn't have to worry about.
And the
playing
Bengals
against
weren't
him.
doing a whole bunch of winning when he was there anyway. So
Correct. But I do know that, and you can't remember a name like that. I still can't say it, though.
Yeah.
Not without my tutor over here. JB at 1WR. Carter back. No, it's Wrath. Wrath 3100. Carter back on the ish again. Okay. Granny Curry. Kenny Pickett played in the Super Bowl Philly Eagles. He learned a lot from Jalen Hurts. A 5th rounder will not start for the Cleveland Browns.
he's saying Shador's not going to start.
He's saying Kenny Pickett Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's saying Store's not going to start. He's saying Kenny Pickett learned a lot from Jalen, so I guess he's –
I think that Kenny Pickett is more prepared now to be the starter than ever before, and they're going to give him a chance to start. That's why he's there. That's why they traded for him.
And and this kid right back at him said, yeah, eventually he will start. Eventually Shedeur will start ahead of him. All right, last one only because I was really curious when I saw this. Steve Spurrier. What do you think? How good do you think Arch Manning's going to be this year? How good do you think he is going to be? I know we ain't seen him play a lot.
Amazing.
Okay. So why is Spurrier talking about if he was so good, why didn't he play over Quinn Ewers? Why would they not give him a year to sit behind Quinn Ewers?
Well, Steve Spurrier knows this too. And there was a reason why Tim Tebow sat behind Chris Leak too at Florida when he came in.
Correct.
And there's also a thing called the locker room. When a guy has paid the price, Quinn Ewers transferred, number one quarterback, transferred from Ohio State to Texas. Once he gets there, they end up getting a new coach. So the new coach has got to make promises to the veteran quarterback. He's got the experience and everything. Yeah, we know Manning's coming here. Like, they had to make promises to him. But the Manning family has approached it the right way and letting him sit and learn under Ewers, because I don't think he was a good enough passer to win the national championship. Now, Quinn Ewers, his stock totally dropped off the face of the earth. He didn't get drafted till the 7th round, but I do believe his running ability supersedes his overall passing ability, even though he's got a big-time arm, been able to dink and dunk, make throws in different areas of the field. I think that's the last part of his development. But he is a freakish athlete. Big guy, can run fast.
It's going to be a hell of a year for them.
Yes. So they're going to utilize him and his legs equally in the attack. So now it's just don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt is right. So, well, hey, Chris Carter, Shawn Mike, we appreciate y'all. Do not miss Hard Knocks Episode 3. It only gets better. We'll see y'all same place, same time next week. Thanks.